thanks for checking out again. Welcome to yet another video. Again, working with the Kadence team. And today, my last video was about conditional headers, where I showed you how you can set it for one page specifically. You can set it for a whole for all archives, for example. But you can change really easily which headers you want to display on which pages. So you can change them according to the page. And if you want to know how you can do this without using Kadence elements within the customizer, you can check out my previous video. But in this one, we are going to style the header you see now. So with just my WordPress on top and then the main menu, we're going to style it and we're going to make it a hamburger icon. And if I click on this hamburger icon, it's going to slide open from the right, and we're going to add a little bit of styling, and I will give some tips on how you can make your header look a little bit nicer. All right, so first things first, we go to the customizer. And maybe before I start, I will show you, I have the Kadence Pro theme installed, and I have activated within the settings or appearance Kadence, I have added header add-ons. So I've enabled this one because I use some things you won't be seeing in your site if you haven't enabled this. Yeah. Because the hamburger toggle is, I showed you a way to do it with the free version of Kadence, and I've used some code to make a sticky hamburger menu. That was, I think, maybe my first video a couple of months ago. So you can do it with the free version, but it's a little bit of a workaround and it's not really the easiest maybe. So if you have the pro version, I will show you how you can make it without having to use any code or custom stuff. Okay, so we go to header. We're going to, this is the top row, the main row, and the bottom row. So every header in Kadence uses 3 rows. Now I'm only using the main row. We're going to remove everything to start with. And I'm going to stick with the main row for now. And I'm going to click on the plus, and you will see there are a lot of options, and we will only see maybe a couple of, maybe 5 or 6 items if you have the free version. So the pro version unlocks a lot more options. Yeah? And this is the one we want, the last one, the toggle widget area. If I click on it, you will immediately see I have my little hamburger icon here. And if I click on the gear icon, I go to the settings. I can, if I wanted to make it a little bit more obvious, I can add a menu label next to it. You can of course leave this empty if you want to. And I can design the hamburger itself. So if I want it to be a little bit bigger, you can set this here, for example. You can set the colors. So this is the colors, the initial color and the hover. So if I go over, you'll see it goes to the bluish color. You can add a border around it. And so these are some things you can change. A background, this is the background of the menu and the hamburger, you see, like this. So all possible to change here. You can change the font. By default, it will inherit the font you have set also inside of the customizer. And you can also set some more padding on the bottom or on the top if you want to. Yeah. This is the only things we have to change here, and we can change here. And then we have to go to the add widget items, and you see normally, I will remove this. If you have followed the steps until now, you will probably, if you click on it, won't see anything. So if I click on it, you see it opens up a side panel, but there is nothing inside of it. And that's the normal thing, because normally there will be no content here. If you want to first change the styling of this, we have to click on, not on the gear icon, but on the right, on this. And then we have the titles, the content, the link colors. And this is, if you put some links inside of here, they will be white. You will see in a minute. You can set the underlining or not. And then you can say the full width or side panel. And this is already changing the layout. If I now click, it will be full width. I only want the side panel, then it will slide in from the left or the right, depending on which one you choose here. If I choose the left, it will slide from the left. Let me stick to right. The max width, you can change this. If I want it to be 600 pixels, for example, 600 max width, then you will see now it's spanning across more of the screen, but I maybe like the 400 pixels, the default one. like this, for example. Yeah, and we can change the background here. So I'm going to go with a lighter color, so you will see immediately it takes the lighter color, but we have to change the toggle colors here because now this should be more like a dark color, and by hovering maybe the bluish one. So you will see now it changes to blue. Yeah. So this is some basic styling that we've set up. We can set some padding as well if we want to. Let's do the 80 pixels for now. You won't see really much changing because I haven't put any content in it, but you will see in a minute that this works. And then we have to, if I go to my gear icon again, we have to add some widget items. And you can, if you see, you can actually add whatever block you want. So these are all the same blocks you will see in the default Gutenberg editor. If you're opening up a page, you can start with a row layout and do whatever you want. And you can also do it really simply. If you just want the navigation menu, you will be able, if you just type in menu, you have the navigation menu. And if I add this and I add main menu here, you make sure you have a menu set up, because otherwise you will probably not be able to select anything. So I select my main menu. And then if I now click on it, you see home and cat1 is now inside of this. So this is the main menu with 2 pages that I've set up for now. You see this is white, and this is what I've set. If I go back to the gear icon and then to the design, you will see, oh no, on this icon I mean, and I go to the link colors, you see this is now like the whitish color. So if I change it to black and then this maybe again to the bluish one, you will see now it's changed. And if I wanted to make it more obvious that these are links, I can set it to underline. So now it's underline. Yeah. So this is the easiest way to add some navigation. And this padding now, if I change this back to 0, you will see what kind of effect this has on my menu. You could say I only want from the top maybe 50 pixels. And then from the left also 60 pixels, for example, or 30 pixels. You can change this however you see fit, of course. Let me pick 50 and 30 for now. These are all going to be the same for now. So this is like a standard menu that I have now. If I go back to my widget items, I can add other blocks. For example, a advanced text block. Oh, and this is a button. This is not what I want. I want the text block. And I'm going to add it on top. And then we can write something, maybe make this an H6 and say menu like this, just to show you. And then you will see it adds the H6 menu here. And if I click on this gear icon, he opens up the settings. So I can change, these are all the same settings with the default Kadence blocks. You can set the coloring inside of here. And if you use like the standard WordPress blocks, if I click on this one, you see it just opens up my menu and I can add items. I can say I want my cat2 also to be included in this menu, and it will immediately be included. But there are not really styling options here because I'm using a default WordPress block instead of using a Kadence block, and the Kadence block and allows me to change the coloring and stuff. If I want to change the coloring of this, I have to go to the icon and I have to change the default link colors, and this will apply to all links inside of this widget block, but I can't style it really individually because there is no option for it. Yeah? Let me go back to here. So let me just change this to a blacker color like this. Like this. All right. So this is an option you have. Another block. I can edit count up a block, for example, this. But you will see with certain blocks that there is not a lot of options. So I have the 100, but you see the default settings. I have to click on the show more settings here because it's like in a different, it's only in the customizer, so it's not as wide as it normally is. So I can say starting number is 1 and its ending number is 99. Suffix can be a plus, for example, and then go back and it will have changed. But you have to click on this show more to be able to see it. Duration, you can set it to whatever seconds you want. Title settings, title color, can be color, can be just a normal paragraph tag, font size 12 pixels. I'm just going to set some stuff here. Padding and margin, we're going to see number settings, also be darkish color. Font size can be a little bit smaller, maybe 30 pixels. And then go back. And then we're going to add 99 plus projects completed. For example, publish. And then we open up. And we have to maybe go to open up a page here and see. It's not really doing what it should be doing. Let me go back to the settings and see what's. Let's change this to a lot of seconds. Refresh. And now you see we have to set the duration a little bit longer, and you see now you can change this. It should be maybe a little bit faster, especially the end now. But you can make it like a dynamic thing, so it makes a little bit of a. It's only the first time. If I refresh my page, it's going to run again. But it's probably not going to run twice. So this is now going up. If I close and go back, you see it just continues where it left off. So it's only the first time that it's going to work. But still, it makes for a nice, if you want to make some, want to change a little bit the view, and then underneath we can maybe make a divider now. So we're going to go back. Oh, I've refreshed this. Going to go to my menu here. Maybe make this a little bit faster, 12 seconds for example. We might be able to change this with code. Let me inspect this for a second. Yeah, so we might be able to change this with code. So if I take this, for example, Command C, just going to show you how you can set this up if you want it to be on one line. This is still the same text or what we've done the last video, so I'm gonna leave this. Gonna add this class, and now we're going to add a display of flex. If you don't know any CSS, don't worry, you can just follow along. Flex direction, gonna set it to a row. And I'm going to publish it and then just see if this is doing anything at the moment or not. Refresh the page, open it up. And now you see it's already on the same line, but it's not looking nice now. So the other thing we want to change now, so we displayed flex, we do flex direction row, and now it's looking a little bit like I wanted to, yeah. But you see it has no space in between, so I want to make a space in between so I can set this up as well. So let me add a column or just gap. I'm going to use gap of 20 pixels like this. Publish. Refresh, open up the page, and now you see this is more like I want it to. It's on one line, it's with the spacing in between, and I think it's aligning nicely. Yes, there's probably some spacing in between as well here, so you see it's a little bit more. Let me see if I add a align items to the center. Let's add that one as well. Center. Items center. Publish. Refresh. Open it up. Okay, and now it looks nice. Yeah. So this is just an example. If you know a little bit of CSS, you can use the blocks of Kadence, and then if anything is not customizable enough, you can add with a little bit of code. You see we have changed it to whatever we wanted to. And if you think this is looking a little bit too small, you can always just go back to the clicking on this icon. I mean, go to the show more settings, scroll down, the title. Yes, we have the title. We set it to paragraph, and I'm going to change this to 16 pixels, click on publish, and then we just have to check, of course, because we added a bit of code. It still looks fine in one row, spacing in between, and it's aligning in the center. Yeah. So just a little detour, but this is looking quite nice. Then I want a divider in between. So we're going to go here and add a spacer divider. And this can be just a normal line, show more settings. The height, let's leave it at 60 pixels for now. Solid can be a bit darker, like this. 1 pixel height, and the width 80%. Let me publish and just see how it looks now. So this is like this. Let me open it up in the live view. Like this. So the height is a bit much. Now let me go to 30 pixels. Maybe even 10 pixels might be sufficient. Refresh, open it up. Okay, this is looking better already. We can span across 100% because maybe this looks a bit weird. But still, this is only the layout, and this is all subjective. So if you like it more another way, just do whatever you want, of course. So now it's spanning across the 100% of the width, and now we can start with the next part. Let's say you have some sort of a sale going on. You can first make a little block that's going to be, let me see what we could use for that. Maybe just a normal section block. It will be nice. Or maybe let's use a let's see if this image overlay block works inside. Select an image. Let's say we have a sale going on. Select sale and 20% off. Let me see. We can also go to show more settings. We can set this to thumbnail because it will load otherwise the whole image, and this is going to be way too big. Now we can make a dynamic link, for example, or we can just set this fixed link. I don't have a shop page now, but if you have one, you just link it. I'm maybe just going to go to one of my posts, for example. If they click on it, zoom in, hover overlay. Let me make this bluish color again. Text alignment, just leave it like this. Use a title, yes. This is all good. Title and subtitle. Subtitle settings, show it. We can say hidden until hover. Let me first see if this actually works, because I'm just doing some stuff now. Okay, you see it works, and if I hover, 20% off, but it might be too small now, so let's see if we can fix this. Maybe if I change this back to medium large, publish, refresh. Yeah, so it was the thumbnail is only 150 by 150 pixels, so this makes it too small, so we have to make it a little bit bigger. But now you see within my sidebar we have a nice looking, well, it's not maybe nice looking, but it's just cool to see that you can do all this stuff inside of a header. So we have this counting up first, then we have our sale, and if you click on it, they will go to the posts that I've set up, for example, but this should link then to your specific sale page. Yeah? And then if you go back here, and then here we're going to add a little bit more stuff now. So you can styling again, change it to the color overlay. You can set it a little bit lower. This will mean that the image will still be visible. So let me show you. If I refresh now and I hover over the image, it will be getting bluer, but you see the image is not disappearing completely. So this is something you could do as well. Yeah? So we have our counting up, we have our divider, we have our image, then we have something saying menu, and then we probably have to add our menu. So again, the most easy way is just to go to the navigation menu if you want to do it that way. So we're going to add an icon list, for example. The first one we're going to set to home, and we're going to set a link. Let's see, show more settings. We can normally set the URL here. Let me just copy this and paste this in here. add the link, maybe change, let's see if this shows up something, do this, icon size can be a bit smaller, only 10 pixels, icon color can be dark, leave this as default, publish, just see how it looks, menu, open it up. Now you see we have a custom icon with the home, and if I click on it, it will go to my home page. So this is working fine. And so you can add every page you want individually like this. So if you want to have more styling options, you click on the plus, and then you have to add, so my cat1 was also in my menu, for example. Go to the show more settings, we go to the individual list item settings, item 2 settings, remove the current link because this is only for my homepage, and then we go to cat1, see if it pops up. No, these are just my posts. Archive, let's see if it pops up. Nope. Let's go to my cat1. Cat1, this is the link. Command C and paste it in, Command V, add it, and then we can change the icon as well if we want to. Let's see if I type in category, if this shows up anything. Not really. Depending on which category it is, it can be just an arrow. You can choose. I'm going to change, leave this at the same size, same color, that it's a bit uniform looking. Now we're going to do the same for my cat2. So this way we can make a custom menu. The only disadvantage, if I add new pages to my menu, this is not dynamic. This is not going to change dynamically. So if I add new pages, I have to go inside of this setting again. I have to open this up. I have to add, click on the plus icon and add another list item and change it to the link. So that is only useful if you don't have to, if you know this menu will probably stay fixed and it won't change every day, because otherwise it's better to just use the default menu block, because this will add the new pages automatically if you add them, but the styling options are quite limited, and here we have a lot more styling options, of course. Item 3 settings. So now we're going to have to change this to cat1. So we're gonna see how gonna click. So this is going to be the link, but it's going to be with the 2 at the end. Yes, this is the right one. Command C. Let's go to item 3. Command V. Let's add the link. All the rest, all the other settings stay the same, like this. Oh, I didn't change the icon. Let's go back, change the icon. Can also be just the same, the arrow, but again, change this to whatever you want. Then we're going to just going to check now how it looks. Refresh the page, open up the menu. We have our dynamic, we have our image with the sale, and then we have our menu with the home, cat1 and cat2. So I think this is already looking way nicer than just a normal standard navigation menu. So you can add more stuff. Maybe the spacing between these two is a bit too big. So let me see if I can fix this. Go to menu, there are some spacing settings. I always have to look. Let's change this to 1. The height, spacing, no, this is not what I'm searching for. Go to show more settings and then go to the spacing settings here and set this to 0 and set this to 0 as well. Click on publish, refresh, open up the menu, and now it's closer to each other. It's maybe now too close to the image, so the top margin can be a bit bigger, maybe at the 30 pixel top margin. Refresh menu. Oh, it hasn't refreshed yet, I think. Let me open it up again. Maybe even a little bit more. Let's add 60 pixels so we can really see it. Publish, refresh. Okay, now you see the spacing is a bit clearer and it's closer to this. Yeah, so this is looking fine. I might want to change the spacing a little bit, so it's more to the right, the list itself. So that is also something we normally can do. Show more settings. We go to list horizontal icon and label. This is the space between the icon. List margin, this is the one. So the bottom margin is 10 and the left margin might be, maybe we'll change this to 15 pixels. Let's see how it looks. So this means on the left side there will be a little bit of space in between. Open up the menu, and now you see we have our menu, and then like a little jump to the right, and then we have our three menus. All right, this is already, I like it. So what else can we add here? Maybe you can add the most recent articles, for example. Just going to show you, so you see that there are a lot of options. You can just play around with this. Browse all. I'm also just looking now. I've never made this header or made this header before, so I'm just doing some stuff. It's always fun to see. We can make a carousel. Let's see if this works. We're going to select the initial style, just like this. You see, this is pulling in the posts. We can only have one. We're going to use pagination. Exclude the current post if they are on a post page. This is good. Layout settings, columns, only one. It's going to be a carousel, so it's going to play number of items. This is wrong. I should have left this to 6 posts, for example. So it's going to pull in 6 posts, and we can change this to the query newest to oldest. You can say I want a random order, and we can say I only want cat 1 or cat 2 to be only this category, so you can include or exclude them. This is a nice one, exclude the current one. So if I click on a post here and then open up my menu, then it will not show the specific posts. So image settings, show the image, landscape, let's change this to medium, large, then excerpt, gone, below title meta, all gone, title can be, categories can be gone as well. So we're going to remove a lot of stuff because it should be small enough that it's not intrusive in our header. Meta, show the date, nope. Show the author, show comments count, nope. And then this is good. Layout was a carousel, it's auto playing. Slides to scroll, only one. Columns, only one. Click on publish, let's see how this looks. Refresh. Menu, and you see inside of our header we have the list of 6 posts that people can check out by going here. We can again add a little title maybe, so it's a little bit more clear what we mean with this slider. So if we go here, this is the plus icon, advanced texts, going to make this a paragraph or an maybe let's make this an H6, so it's the same as here. This was also an H6, for example. It's a little bit less space to work with than in a normal page, so it's a little bit annoying sometimes. Maybe just duplicate this. You can do duplicate like this, and then go one lower, and we have the same styling. I remove this one and then we just change this to recent posts, for example. They're going to be the same styling as this menu, with the same spacing, 60 pixels on top. Refresh, open up the menu, and then we have our menu, we have our recent posts. And we can of course also change this title because this maybe is a bit too big now. Okay, they're here. I don't know what that was. It looked like they were gone for a second. Let's go to show more settings. Let's go to the title. Where is it? Here, title. And maybe make it in H6 as well. Only make it 14 pixels. Make it smaller line height. And I click on publish. Refresh the page. Open it up, Okay, this is looking better already. Okay, so you see we've made a really awesome navigation menu now. So play around with it. I hope this was helpful, and if I can help you in the future or you have any questions, just let me know, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.